Hey everyone, it's Lance.Klessig outside of Winona, Minnesota today, joined by Joe Lawler and Joe's awesome rig. So we're actually at a field day hosted by Mike and Dave Unruh. We're going to do some drone seeding by Rantizo, but also have you run some corn. So tell us a little bit about the rig you have here, some of the history.
Well, in 2018 I bought a corn detassler and had the idea of turning it into a high clearance seeder. At the time, that's rolling crimping was starting to gain popularity, and this is before we started rolling before anthesis. So I needed to find a way to get rye in my corn before harvest. So, in my opinion, with rye, I mean, you have to put a really heavy rate down. And in my opinion, this is kind of really one of the only ways to do it.
Sure.
Minus flying on with an airplane. So, since I didn't really want to get my pilot's license, I went this route. And what we have here, like I said, it was a detasseling unit from Pioneer, built in the late 80s. Found it in Ontario, Canada, and had it trucked down here. And we basically cut it up and built around the seeder that you see in the middle. That's a Valmar. It's a 240 air seeder, so it's got 24 tubes. There's a tube every 30 inches on a 60-foot boom. Just spray it right over the top. I know some guys use drop tubes, but I don't know if there's much of a difference in biomass. Either way, so this does a pretty good job. Last year we were seeding at about 120 pounds an acre of rye in our standing corn first week of September. This year we might try a little earlier. All depends, but if you go too early, you might lose some rye due to it germinating and being shaded out. So. That's where we use it, and you can see on the front I have some row dividers. I have a couple more for the back. We just put these on for demonstration, but when we run in 30-inch beans, they basically open up and pave the way for the tires without yet running over any horizontal runs of the beans. So, and so I do have the main bottleneck, I think, when we do the corn is when you put 120 pounds an acre. That's a lot of volume. A lot of seed going through the tubes. We have about 800 feet of tube. So we did have a little issue last year with the outer tubes, which are the longest ones, clogging up a little bit, but we had an engineer kind of help us out a little bit, so we think we have that fixed. So I'd like to go at about 4.5, 5 miles an hour at that rate, and that'd be ideal.
Yeah. Do you ever run any corn over, like once in a while, or?
Well, Lance,
we have fun on our videos.
Yes, so we're going to talk about the drawbacks, I guess, of this type of seeder is, yes, a drone, I mean, would be ideal if we could get this thing to hover. I mean,
right.
Can you
if
imagine?
we could get like a company like Rantizo to give you one or let you try it, that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah. Pretty much. I mean, but that being said, is it's not that much corn. On the headlands, we'll have to turn around and run a little corn over. I do have pretty narrow tires on it, so it's a minimal loss. It's kind of collateral damage, I guess, if you want to say.
Sure, especially when corn is like 6 on the bushel.
Well, we could start talking too about what we're going to gain.
That's true. ROI, right, Joe?
It's all about ROI.
Yeah, perfect.
So soil health, keeping soil. And when we go over and we combine, there's no lap in green organic matter growing. When we're combining, yeah, it looks like your lawn when we're combining. So. Yeah.
What? So it's how old? 1970s or something like that?
Late 80s.
Late 80s. Does it have a name?
We just call it
the Joe Lawler special, or
we call it High Boy, but I kind of refer to it as a girl, so I don't know.
Good deal. All right, the girl.
The High Boy is what we call it. I don't know. That's just kind of what's stuck. So
cool.
Yeah.
And we had to bring a low boy in to haul it here, which was, because you're like, what, 40 miles away?
Yeah, about 40 miles away.
Yeah, so we had to hire a low boy to haul it here. High boy on the low boy.
Yeah.
Good deal.
I don't know where you're going with that one, but yes.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know, you got anything else to add to people that are curious about the pluses or minuses, or?
Well, I guess kind of boils down to, I guess, where you are with your operation. If you are starting to lean more on a regenerative side of ag, I mean, I think really cover crops, it all starts right there. And with cover crops, if you want the most bang for your buck, you need to get them on early, especially in standing corn. And especially up here in southeastern Minnesota, even northern Iowa, we just don't have the growing season, the heat units to get this stuff to come up and make a difference. I mean,
after corn, you mean?
A little bit lately, you know, we've been having some good long warm falls, and we've been able to get some good growth in the fall, but I just to have the consistency, and if you're getting into that type of farming, I think getting it on early is one thing you should be looking at first.
So this is, I would say, a really good tool to be able to, you know, and some of the co-ops are picking up, you know, they have Hagies and stuff that with the convertible boxes and sprayers, you know, so.
And this is just a very cheap version of a Hagie.
There we go.
Yeah.
Cheap. Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Reasonable.
So, reasonable. Good. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I don't know if I have anything else, but this is our second video at this. We were kind of remarking that, you know, every couple of years we got to revisit, make sure that it's in good shape.
It might be a different shade of paint from before. I know the front has some supports on the axles, and it throws out more seat.
Okay.
So, yeah, this is version
3.0 or
something like that.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, hey, I want to say thanks for coming to our field day. We're about an hour away, so we're gonna have some fun. Joe's gonna drive the corn actually right here, and show a bunch of people. So yeah,
hopefully not knock too much down. Huh?
Yeah, we'll find out. So, okay. All right. Well, sounds good, friends. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next video.